This screencast explains how to order progressive glasses. If along with numbers in your sphere and or cylinder and axis sections, your prescription has an NV ADD number, or maybe just an ADD number, that's a plus number that'll be the same for both eyes, you can order your glasses as bifocals or progressives. We have another screencast explaining how to order bifocals. The one you're watching now explains how to order progressives. Let's look at the NV ADD. This stands for Near Vision Reading Addition. NV for near vision, ADD for reading addition. This is what gives your eyeglasses more reading magnification power at the bottom of the lens for bifocals and in the middle in the case of progressives. This is generally needed when you reach your 40s if you find it becoming increasingly difficult to focus on what's up close, especially fine print. Some people whose distance vision is otherwise good and who don't have to wear corrective lenses do just fine with a pair of reading glasses. But maybe you have a nearsighted or farsighted prescription, and maybe you have an astigmatism too, which is indicated by numbers in the CYL and axis sections of your prescription. Maybe you'd like to have both your distance vision and your reading vision all in one lens. In that case, you'd want to get bifocals or progressives. Now again, we have another screencast that describes how to order bifocals, as well as one that discusses ordering single vision reading glasses, which covers near vision and intermediate vision. Intermediate vision is when you're looking at a computer screen. Progressive glasses have that intermediate computer vision correction in the middle of the lens, along with distance vision above that and reading vision below that. 3 focal fields with 3 different distances, far, intermediate, and near, with no visible lines separating those 3 focal fields. Those kinds of eyeglasses are called progressives, and if that's what you want, you've come to the right place. Here's how to find frames that will work for a progressive prescription. First, click on the gender you're shopping for. For our purposes, we're going to click on men. Now we're going to click on the very useful Refine Your Search feature. We'll find and click Prescription. Then in Prescription, we'll click Progressive. Now, the only frames that appear on the page are ones that will accommodate a progressive or bifocal prescription. What that means is the only frames that will appear on the page are frames that have a lens height of 30 millimeters or higher, because that's the minimum lens height required to get progressives or bifocals at Zenni. So when you're shopping for frames, make sure you select a frame with a lens height that will give you the amount of distance vision you need in the distance section and the amount of computer or intermediate vision you need in the computer or middle section and the amount of reading vision, near vision, you will need in the bottom section of the lens. Now move your cursor over a frame on the website. You will see the picture pop up, and at the bottom of the picture it will indicate whether the frame will accommodate a progressive or bifocal prescription. Click on Quick View. The picture of the frame will enlarge, and in the Details box you will see on the left the lens height along with the other frame dimensions, and on the right confirmation as to whether the frame will accommodate a progressive or bifocal prescription. Remember that we said a progressive lens is divided in 3 parts: distance vision on top, intermediate or computer vision in the middle, and reading vision on the bottom. Now, the part of a progressive lens with vision correction can be likened to the shape of a button mushroom. The top part of the lens with distance vision has the widest area of vision correction. It's like the cap of the mushroom. The middle reading corridor, where computer or intermediate vision is, and the bottom, where reading vision is, are both narrower, like the stem of the mushroom, at roughly 14 millimeters across. Now, with progressives, we give you the option to optimize your prescription. You'll see here on Optimize Your Prescription, we ask you a couple of questions. First, what is your primary use for these glasses? If you pick General/Office, the most common selection, the distance and reading portions of your lens are increased, while the intermediate section of the reading corridor is a little smaller. If you pick Sports, Outdoors, or Driving, you'll get a lens with excellent performance in the distance portion and an increased intermediate section, but the reading portion will be a little smaller. Now, the other question we ask is, where on your nose will you wear these progressive glasses? If you pick High on my nose, the progressive segment lens starts right around the halfway point on the lens. If you go with Middle of my nose or Low on my nose, the progressive segment lens height starts a little above the middle of the lens, about 2 millimeters up from the horizontal midpoint. For example, let's say you select a frame with a lens height of 30 millimeters, the minimum height for a progressive or bifocal lens at Zenni Optical. The center line will be at 15 millimeters, half of 30, right? So if you go with High on my nose, the progressive segment lens will start at 15 millimeters, the halfway point on the lens. But if you pick Middle or Low on my nose, the progressive reading corridor will start at 2 millimeters up from the midpoint, 17 millimeters up from the bottom. That is, of course, 15 plus 2. Now, when you're on the Order Your Glasses page and you want progressives, enter Progressive as the prescription type. When you do, you will see that the NV ADD box becomes live, and you can enter your NV ADD number from your prescription. We can accommodate NV ADD prescriptions from +1 to +3.50. When you enter your prescription, the website will read the prescription and recommend the best lens. We can accommodate progressive prescriptions in almost every lens we carry: the 1.50, 1.53, 1.57, 1.59, 1.61, or 1.67 index lenses. They're available as polarized progressives in the 1.50 and 1.59 index, and in photochromic. Those are the auto-tinting lenses, the kind that get dark in the bright sunlight, become clear again when you're back indoors. Those are in the 1.50, 1.57, 1.59, 1.61, and 1.67 index. In the 1.50, 1.61, and 1.67 index, they will be transitions. In the 1.59 index, they will be Vision Ease Life prescription photochromic lenses. And in the 1.57 index lens, they will be our own generic photochromic progressives. And that's how to order progressive glasses.